Can you give us an intro? What is your name and title?
Sure. Eddy Perez, President, Equity Prime Mortgage.
And where are we now?
As you can tell, looking outside, we are here at EPM home office in Atlanta, Georgia.
Is that where you're from?
Yes, I am fortunate enough to have been born here and thoroughly enjoy it.
Do you like living in Georgia?
Yeah, I mean, I've never lived anywhere else. However, I do believe it gives you a little bit of everything, as well as it's just a city that's grown up and a state that's seen so much growth. It's just been exciting to see, from childhood to the Olympics to sports teams that finally got pretty good.
And what's your favorite sport?
My first favorite sport is baseball, but a very, very close 1B is football.
And what's your favorite food?
Tacos.
And favorite food in the theater?
Oh man, as a kid, couldn't help but like junk food, but I'd say nowadays it's more popcorn, no butter, and with the water.
And favorite film series?
Oh man, God, there's a lot of good ones. What can I say? I'd have to say that Godfather wins, and a very close second once again is the Star Wars series.
And if you weren't in the mortgage industry, what would you be doing?
Wouldn't even want to think about anything else, just because I love this industry. I love what it does for the consumer. I love what it's done growing people. I love what it does for the economy, what it does for this country. So that's kind of like having a plan B, and I just don't even want to imagine anything else. Hey Robin, how are you?
And what's your favorite part of the week?
Oh, Monday, by far.
And favorite color?
Black, but nowadays they say that's a shade, so whatever.
And favorite subject in high school?
Math.
And tell us a quote that made an impression.
Oh, it was by my father, which is, go out and take what's rightfully yours.
And what kind of team works at EPM?
God, what's the best way to describe it? I'd say we're a little bit of a motley crew.
Hey!
Speaking of one of our great motley crews that have been here 9 years, that's Jeff.
And what inspires you?
God, there's so many things that inspires me. I think it's pretty much, to go out and make other people successful.
And speaking of culture, give us a hint of yours.
I'm first generation born in this country, 100% Latino.
And can you say something inspiring in Spanish?
Oh yeah, of course. It was told to me by my father, which is libertad es todo, which means freedom is everything. And I think that's the most important thing to have in life is, freedom of spirit, freedom of mind, financial freedom. I mean, I think that's one of those things that, as we've seen through history, so many people have died for.
And we know you like to have fun. Describe EPM's culture in one word.
I'd say it's pretty unique.
How many employees does EPM have?
Last checked, it's a little bit over 300. It's like 330, 340 employees to this date and growing.
And where do you see EPM in 5 years?
I want us to continue to keep growing. I definitely think that we are an environment that can empower not only our consumers, but our employees. So I see nothing but growth. I see good times ahead, and more importantly, raising awareness and making an impact in the industry.
And what's for breakfast?
Water.
And what made you change your lifestyle?
One of our offices in New Jersey had kind of told me, as I'm big into health, about supplements and then intermittent fasting, and that's been, I can't even tell you in words how rewarding. I feel so much better now. I still take in the same amount of calories, however, I take them in a shorter time period and feel amazing. Sure. You got a pen? Yeah. Come on, girl. I need something. Am I signing my life away? Yeah, usually.
Thank you.
Cool, no problem. You doing all right?
Yes, thank you.
And what influenced the changes at EPM?
You're just always looking to grow. You're always looking to improve yourself. You're always looking to do something a little bit better. And what better can you do than empower and grow your employees and make them better?
And EPM, does that stand for something?
I mean, technically, it stands for, Equity Prime Mortgage. However, we believe we're a little bit more than that. So we believe it really is for empowering people more.
Do you empower your team or just consumers?
No. You got to empower both. That's the only way to make the impact you want to do.
And coffee or tea?
Neither.
Spirit animal?
Eagle.
Call or text?
If it's something short, I think text is very effective. I'm not a big fan of email, but I think if it's going to be anything that really needs some dialogue or anything tough, I think you just have to make a phone call, and you just can't replace human interaction. I mean, that's why FaceTime's so big these days.
And do you believe in the power of social media?
Oh, absolutely. I believe it's about the only real way to not only put out your message, but put it out very authentic and just show who you are and what you're doing for everyone else.
Hey, Eddie. Come here.
Yo.
Let me show you something.
What's up?
Check this out.
What you got?
LD.
Well, alrighty. I guess that's something that, Aurelia here, she always has a way of making me laugh and all that. And we're also very proud how she's getting promoted and all that. So thank you for that laughter as always. You always bring a smile to my face.
Thanks.
And what made you start your vlogging series, LL and L?
I think it's good. One of the things in life, somebody's always helped you out along. I think it's one way to give back, pay it forward, and just give out some good content that definitely can help your fellow man.
And what's the best advice given to you?
Oh God, I'd probably say, good isn't good enough if it can be better, and better isn't good enough if it can be best.
And what's the best advice you've ever given?
Man, just to be true to who you are. It's like my mom, had told me, I'd rather you be an amazing janitor than a terrible doctor.
Hey, Eddie.
Hey.
Thanks for the book.
Oh, no, man, you keep it. This was a gift. I want you to make sure you enjoy it because anytime you read something, pass it on to somebody else.
Nice, thanks.
And 3 words that you would define success.
Oh, let's see. I definitely think action, expressions, and priorities. I think this is, one of the greatest leaders of all time, Gandhi. So I think this represents it well.
And how would you describe advocacy?
So advocacy has a lot of meanings, but I think the very basic term is basically raising awareness on subjects that will empower the consumer, the industry, to bring light, or more importantly, to bring improvement on a situation.
And do you consider yourself a leader?
It's something that I've worked hard on, and it's definitely something I've been fortunate enough to become a leader, and fortunate to keep always trying to improve that.
And how do you stay focused?
I think the only way to stay focused really in life is pretty much you got to have a routine. You got to follow along, and you just got to do it day by day and not realize it's going to just be done overnight.
And
What's up, Bob? How are you, bud? Hey,
How's it going?
good. You doing good?
Doing well.
Cool, brother. Cool.
And how do you indulge?
Well, this is the indulging desk. This is on. Look at this, man. He's got amazing candies here, whatever you got to do. Even though I love to eat healthy and all that, now later is, all right, I'll get that later. I haven't, I don't need to indulge just yet.
Favorite entertainer?
Oh, man. There's quite a few different entertainers depending on a category. Obviously, I think if I had to give a number one of all of them, it'd have to be Ali. Not only was he just a great showman, but he was just amazing at what he did and just his spirit and everything. If we're going into movies, I think that Al Pacino, and obviously we talked about Godfather, but so many of his movies, I think he's probably one of the top 3, if not greatest actor of all time. And when you're talking about, from a business standpoint, obviously I'm a big fan of Mark Cuban, not just Shark Tank. I think it's remarkable what he's done and how he's sustained it. He's moved it over from business to sports and all over the area.
Eddie, how do you unwind?
There's a lot of ways to unwind. I think the best way in particular for me, besides obviously the stress ball, thank you as you see me do it, is just, playing with my kiddos, wrestling with them, having fun, It's funny how in life when you do that, you just feel so much better.
True. Thank you.
Name your first pet.
Oh God, my first pet. Let me go back. Charlie.
And how many kids do you have?
3.
And what advice do you give them?
It just along the lines that, whatever you want to do, dad, mom will be there for you. Whatever your spirit is, go out and do what you want, not what we want you to do, and just stay to that.
And can you dance?
Yes.
And opening EPM back in 2008, do you see yourself standing here?
Yeah, I knew it would be a lot of hard work. Obviously, we were in the height of the crash, but I just always had a belief that we would get there.
And where to next?
I got a meeting I got to go to right now here in a little bit, but just in general, keep moving forward. It's all you can do in life. So thanks a lot. Appreciate it, everybody.